the proposed intergenerational conclave that is supposed to happen is necessary. Will it gel the country together?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I've said, as I've said, we don't undermine the capacities of the outgoing generation.
Yes.
However, are they intentional even when we are having these discussions? It's not from a point of advocating things to us.
Yes.
But we need to be selfless and have the heart at the nation at heart, so much so that we will sit down to hold in intentional discussions that foresee a greater inclusive and prosperous nation at large.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mwoki, you are in student leadership.
Yes.
But how do you think this prepares one to take up leadership roles even at the national level?
Yeah, I think it's proven that being a student leader, it's the initial stage for you going outside there and becoming a national figure. For example, we have people that we all know. Babu Owino, Mheshimiwa from Runyenjes, and so many other leaders, national figures. This is because leadership, it's something that grows, just stages. You have to pass somewhere to be ironed and shaped to something better. It prepares us because we can really engage as students, practice the leadership itself. For instance, on my end, I've been doing community engagements to educate people on matters of mental health, drug abuse, and also environmental conservation with the help of stakeholders like the county government of Makueni.
Yes.
We did a very mega event that I, as the planner, and my team, we saw that the community has trusted us to even higher levels because of whatever we are doing in the community. We do mentorships in high schools. This calls for someone to be presentable, to give back, to mentor. It is a preparation. It is a preparation for a future greatness.
Yes.
As student leaders, what we are requesting, again, in the preparation, is to be involved in all task force that are in our communities, to bring ideas. This is a question that you asked. Let me just get back to it a while.
Yes.
About the
intergenerational conclave.
Generational conclave. As youth leaders, this might be a good cause that the government is taking, but again, if youths wataekwa in the low positions, again it will have no effect. They will just be controlled. It will be an intergenerational conclave with all the men seated, just few youths who their voice is not heard at all. If the conclave is genuine and sincere, we ask them to take matters of the youth with ultimate consideration and sensitivity that they require. Again, we expect it to bear fruits because it's just we are doing a conclave, we are doing, then all after a sudden naishia somewhere and tunabaki na our grievances, something very hurtful.
Yes.
Very hurtful.
Yes. Even as we talk about that, some, even if the youth are calling for leadership spaces, is it possible that they can influence policy or decision-making process even without an elective position?
Absolutely true, because it is clear that we may not all fit in the leadership position, especially at the national level. But at the verge of devolution, county governments, which has structures that trickle down to the ward level, have offered a place where young people can engage and influence policies as well as influence actions. As a community development practitioner and a member of various self-help youth groups at the community level, I have seen the positive change that can be brought when an organized group of young people at the grassroots are now merging with the local government to influence change. So as you said, as you've asked, can they influence from the very level that they are? True to that. And as well, we are all aware that we have a greater number of young people in this nation who are learned and educated. Talking of policies, formulations and amendments, I believe in the capacity also of the young people who are in that field. And these are the courses that majority have been studying in the university. And it's true that at the very level they are, they can influence change. We may not all be national leaders, but from the point, even as Kiongozi said, that every young people must be included in this regard. If you cannot hold an elective position, then there is what you can do at community level. We have projects like now. We have a climate change action plans. We have climate change committees. These are committees which can engage young people. Matters environmental education, advocacy and conservation. We have the tech, revolving tech systems, talk of AI. We have Ajira here with us. These are all platforms which can accommodate as many young people as possible. And as well, as the leader said, to build them up for the next leadership in some few years to come.
All right. For the interest of time, I'm told we are out of time. I'm giving you each 30 seconds to give your final submission, starting with you.
We are very grateful for you having us around here. Beyond Ballot has a lot of things that we need to challenge as people. We need to challenge empty promises from our leaders. We need to shift from politics to policies beyond the ballot. And let us be genuine about that. We are requesting for civic education workshops that our people will be educated to know this is what this should do, this is what this should do. We are requesting to have what we call community engaged accountability and transparency teams. Where we will have a team which is guiding the resources allocation, which is observing what leaders really promised to do. As media as well, we request you to do what we call policy literacy. You need to create some videos and educate people. Do you know that the governor should do this and this and this? Do you know that the senator should do this and this? And lastly, we are requesting that our community, all where you are, be a watchdog of your leaders. And you as a leader, you don't need to be forced to walk the talk or to do what you really promised to. Be yourself, do whatever you promised to the people, genuinely, after the ballot.
Jogu, final remarks.
Okay, thank you a lot also for having us here. And I must conclude by saying that it's high time that young people, we not only aspire to grow in matters leadership, but as well I insist on the capacity to lead self. Someone said that you can only give up to the measure that you have, to the measure of the capacity you have developed. So I'm calling out to all leaders, young leaders, fellow young leaders, to continue building their capacities, to continue building themselves, and also aligning themselves with the existing current policies, regulations, and acts that govern the leadership at large. And also to my county, home county, I just want to echo a big thumbs up to the young youth leadership that exists there, and at large call for us to be united for the greater goal and the cause that is ahead. Thank you a lot for having us in the show. We appreciate a lot.
And thank you too for making time to come on Good Morning Kenya and talk about the Beyond the Ballot and how youth can inspire transformative governance. That is Sam Njogu is the president of Nakuru County Youth Leaders Association, and Engineer Mwoki Kelvin, who is a youth leader and the chair of Makueni University Students Association. This is where we end this conversation. Don't go too far. Vivian Ndegwa is up next with Women at the Forefront. Stay with us.
Took over as Kenya's third Attorney General from James Karogo, who had served slightly over a year. Prior to his appointment, the London-trained lawyer had worked as a resident magistrate in Nakuru and Eldoret for 4 years before being appointed state attorney in the Attorney General's chambers. He spent 3 years in this position up to 1968, then opened his own law firm in 1969. He was a low-key practice until his appointment as Attorney General. During his tenure, the Criminal Law Bill was passed, giving birth to the Criminal Procedure Code, which, among others, stipulated a jail term for anyone giving false statement to the police. Kamere also introduced the Banking Act on client confidentiality, with a 20,000 shillings fine or a year in jail imposed for contravening it. Also under his watch as AG, Kamere introduced a statute law, Miscellaneous Amendment Act of 1981, that increased the number of pews in judge, that is, a judge of a superior court who is not the head of the court, from 19 to 24. The move was aimed at speeding up the hearing of court cases. He also set up the Law Review Commission that came up with a succession law on inheritance. Kamere was not without friction with members of parliament who claimed most of his bills were defective, with some legislators casting doubt on them. They eventually called for debate over his competency and the effect this had on his duties as the country's AG. Kamere resigned in 1983 after a German businessman took him to court for improperly detaining his 2 luxurious cars. Kamere never held an elective seat. For the cabinet, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We get into our final segment right here on Good Morning Kenya, and we are going to be speaking about women, because the segment is Women at the Forefront, where we bring you different women who are doing amazing things in their field as they also get to impact the society in general. And this morning we're going to be looking at women as game changers and looking at ways in which we can equip women to lead boldly and purposefully. And joining me for this conversation are 2 amazing women. We have Ginetta Collier, who is a transformational speaker, a coach, and entrepreneur. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you on board. And then we also have Dr. Edna Nyaboke. And Dr. Edna is a governance and leadership practitioner. She is a policy expert and mediator as well. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have the both of you on here to talk matters women. You know, and when we look at women as game changers, just generally, how does that look like for you? If I may begin with you, Doc.
Thank you so much. When I look at women as game changers, I look at women being given the space and allowed to have their voice in an inclusive environment to contribute to sustainable development. but where the same women have the very capacity to be part of that development foundations. Yeah.
All right. Collier?
When I look at women as game changers, I believe we are breaking barriers that has been set before us. We're shifting our mindset, and we're changing the game and how we are participating in society.
Yeah, that's how we look at it generally. You know, women as game changers, and that is where we are headed rather. And now just trying to get to understand where both of you are coming from. Maybe is there a pivotal moment in your life that got you into this line, you know, whereby you're all about leadership, you're all about women and them just being game changers all round? Is there a pivotal moment for you?
The pivotal moment for me came when I realized that I was given a God-given purpose. And when you're given a God-given purpose, you should be unstoppable. Because we have the opportunity to change lives in so many ways. And we have an opportunity to cross barriers that was never crossed before. So for me, that was a pivot time when I came here to Kenya and spoke with the young ladies and spoke with the women and realized we have so much in common, but yet we still have so far to go, but we've come so far at the same time.
Yeah. Doc?
Thank you. My moment for me is basically shaped from the background where I grew up. I grew up in Kisii County. The Gusii region is deeply patriarchal, where it's the male voices that gave order to community, and because of that, there are so many historical injustices in terms of women leadership. We are one of the communities that have never had a woman actually in parliament, nor even with the devolution, we've never had a woman governor, a woman senator, and such. Then I realized that change cannot happen if women are not at the table. But then looking back, I realized that the same women don't have capacity. There is a call that we need to work on ourselves as leaders to take that space so that we can be able to fill those gaps. I know they're huge, but I also believe that small steps forward can bring that change. And I believe that leadership is not basically by us having titles. It does call inside that I can be the change that I'm looking for.
All right. And on that note, we'll take a break and then we'll come back in a bit. Don't go too far.
Kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika, ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri, David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set for CHAN 2024. Please watch out for every thrilling goal, every breathtaking moment on our radio stations, on our TV platform, and all on our social media pages. CHAN Iko KBC.
Friday night again. Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We are talking about women as game changers. Now, what would you say is hindering women from taking up leadership roles at the moment right now? And how can we go about changing this narrative?
I believe that women are hesitant in taking the leadership role because they've never been encouraged. And I feel as women, as we get these roles, it is our duty to bring other women along with us. The doors have been opened in some cases, and instead of stepping into that door alone, we need to partner up with another woman. We need to allow the legacy to continue in that manner and be brave and bold enough to step into the role, and knowing that, yes, mistakes will be made along the way, but we learn from those mistakes and we champion each other and allow each other to elevate in ways that possibly was not done before.
And you know, even from what you had said earlier on, Dr. Edna, you know, you had mentioned that, you know, women standing up and taking roles as game changers, like a pivotal role for you was the fact that you were not seeing, you know, women taking up space from where you come from. You know, you mentioned that you grew up in Kisii and you've not been seeing that. Maybe what would you say, even as a country, is stopping women from taking up such roles, even with the fact that we have a law in place whereby we have the 2/3 rule in place. What is hindering us from getting to that? Because even in Parliament, we haven't gotten to achieve that.
Sure. I'm happy that you mentioned the 2/3 gender rule. Do you know that in Kenya we've not really passed it, still lying somewhere around Parliament? Anytime the legislators want to push it, it's either divide along political alignments and such. Even women fed off, maybe because of what the political alignments are telling them. So basically what is hindering women in Kenya is those historical injustices. They're still there. The policy is there, but still even the implementation and the gaps are still there. And we are saying maybe the gaps can be elevated or dealt away with if we actually make sure that the policy, the 2/3 gender policy, is actually already up there. Number two is cultural. Like where I come from, I think the culture told us that women, we have to be the necks. We don't have to be the heads. And that's why we're coming in to unlearn that. Yeah, we learn that. How can we unlearn that? Of course, because of the culture, of the systematic barriers, we're also having now the imposter syndrome, the self-sabotage, where we are telling people like, can we do away with this? You can do it.
Yeah.
You'll find that even in organization, in corporates, away from the political positions and such, you'll find that a woman who is qualified 80% will not apply for that promotion because she feels that I'm not good enough. But a man who has 10% will still go for it.
Yeah.
That's what we are calling about self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So basically, those are it could be community, it could be policy, it could be the historical injustices, and also the self-sabotage. But also another thing we can talk about is the financial, the economic gap. The economic gap, the men and the women, is quite different. Some roles could be maybe in entrepreneurship, someone wants to be a startup and grow, but because of the economic gaps, of course, again, going back to the fact that women never inherited property in Africa, in Kenya, and in Gusii, where I come from, and we're trying to tell the parents again, this is something we can change, all of us, starting from the community. How are you empowering your girls? Educational access has been always having gaps. We have teenage pregnancies, we have early child marriages, and still and other gender-based violences like FGM, which bring about stigma, girls dropping out of school. So it's a whole lot, and that's why we are saying that even as we are calling for women to rise up for leadership roles, it should be a collaborative approach where we have the men, the women, the young, the old, the clergy, and everyone coming on board. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and I want to pick on something that you mentioned as one of the things that may hinder women from taking up the space that they need to take, and that is on imposter syndrome, or we can also call it self-doubt. And this is something that I know most people struggle with on their day-to-day. You know, sometimes it's inevitable, right? So, but just maybe to get to hear from you, what's the best way, from your point of view, in going towards or in just trying to curb that self-doubt, that imposter syndrome? How can one be able to just overcome it?
Well, first we have to deal with our mindset. A lot of times we are told what we can do and what we can't do, and we believe it. So first I say that you have to believe in yourself. You have to realize that the steps that I take is the steps that I need in order for me to improve what I need in order for me to make my life better. It may not look like what someone else will do. Just because something has been done or has not been done does not mean it cannot be done, if that makes sense. Because everything starts from a beginning, and everything is elaborated on as we go. And I just feel that a lot of times we are so stuck in how we was raised and what someone told us that we don't believe in ourselves. But like Edna said, I love the analogy where when a man, he's 10% can do something and he's going to go for it. And a woman, she has to study, she has to restudy, and she has to study again before she even decides that she's going to even take a chance. So I implore women to just step out on faith, step out boldly, understand that you have all you need already inside you to equip you to move forward. And we just have to believe in ourselves and also help each other.
Yeah. Who do you feel should come on board in helping with all of this? You know, we can't just do it alone as women. We need allies and all of that. So just who specifically should come on board? Are there institutions that we're looking at and all of that?
First, I believe that it has the women. It has to start with us first, stepping into that step of continuously learning. Okay, of course we'll call on government in terms of policies and such, but we also have to call on community, and that's why grassroots talks are very important. Those barastas that people used to have, because that is where those injustices happen. How would we do that? And above that, how can we again collaborate? Like now Janetta is here. The Kisii women will get to know that some of the challenges I go through, it's not because I'm a Kisii, but even in the United States, the women who are there, there's some of the challenges that we share. So when you have that global picture and then you match it with the local, and then we are having conversation, we are talking to government, and then we are taking the space as individuals, I think will be one of the ways we take stock and make the journey, accelerate the journey. Yes.
And I also believe we need our men. Our men need to help us as well, because they are in spaces that we're trying to get into. And if they allow us to walk into the door side by side with them, it is a betterment for all of us. It's just not for the women, it's for the men as well. Because when the women elevate, so do our men.
Yes.
Well put right there. And would you say this is something that we are dealing with across the borders, you know, not just in Kenya, not just in Africa, but all over the world. Is this a global problem?
It is a global problem because, you know, cultural-wise, we have been taught, like Edna said, the man is the head, we're the neck, and that's okay. Yeah. But being the neck, we move the head for them to look at certain things that we see. And if we just allow them to, have them allow us to open their eyes to things that will help us, knowing that it will help the family. It is not a me against you. We're together. We need each other in order for us to grow.
I like that. We are not taking their space, but we just want to collaborate and make the team stronger.
Exactly. We want them, and I keep saying it's not a gender fight. It's not a gender war.
It's not. We're walking hand in hand, side by side. No one has to walk behind. We need to walk hand in hand, side by side.
We make this world a better place to be in. Now, you know, there's something that you're doing, and that's why you're in the country, and you've been doing this. This is not the first time you're here. You come, you get to gather women who are doing different things in their fields, you know, women who can be role models to the younger girls, and then you go speak to these younger girls. Tell me more about that, and when did this initiative begin?
Okay, well, it began because I felt like we are standing on the shoulder of women that has passed. And it is our job to bring the women of the future along with us. So I started an organization called Women Empowering Women. It's through my company, Imaginary Glass Ceiling, which I like to say the glass ceiling is not there. It's totally imaginary. It's in your head. And what I do, I travel around and bring women from around the globe together in all types of leadership and businesses and collaborate with each other and help each other in the spaces that we need to move forward in and spaces that has been closed to us. We do conferences, we have workshops, and the ideal behind it as well is to have women from Africa to come to the U.S. and do business, women from U.S. come to Africa and do business, and throughout the world, wherever the conferences are. So I find it to be very rewarding, very emotional at times, because we realize that we are all the same. We are one, and there's no division. So I love the aspect of it. I love how I am welcome. And in October 2026, I'm coming back to bring a larger conference, and I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. But that's more or less mentorship, right? So just what's the role of mentorship in all of this? You know, on this journey, what is the role of mentorship?
Wow. It's everything. It's a powerful platform for people to see what they have not seen. They say that people who have gone ahead, we lost Phoebe, our CEO, and the rest. They went to Beijing, they fought for us. We have not seen what they saw. But if we walk through the path they have walked, we can be able to know through them where the potholes are, what we can be able to, how can we can shorten the journey. So mentorship is such a powerful tool, especially when we are talking about women empowerment and gender equity, that we cannot do away from. We learn from their lessons, we learn the best practices, you know, lessons are powerful, and then we'll be able to see the future even before we reach there, because the mentors have already seen that future. And they paint that perfect picture, which can be actually a motivation even before we see it.
Yes. You know, I like to say that a lot of times people are trying to reinvent the wheel. Why? All you need to do is calibrate the wheel. You don't have to start from the beginning. When you have someone that's gone through it, they bring you along and you just tweak it a little. And that's what we need.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that 100%. Now, as we almost come to a conclusion of this amazing conversation, you know, you going to the younger girls, you know, just getting to talk to these younger girls and getting to inspire them and even mentor them to become the people they are supposed to be, because we're all meant to be great. I mean, come on. So just doing that to these younger women, what does that do to their minds, and what's the importance of just that resetting of the mind, you know, resetting of the mind to just believe that you can actually do it, you can actually make it?
When I pour into these young women and these girls, it just brings so much joy, and I just see the light comes on. It just, their eyes light up because they realize that they too can do and be whatever they dream. You know, a lot of times if we don't see things, if we're staying in our bubble, and don't see what's outside of that bubble. We feel like this is all we have. Not that the bubble is bad, but this is all we have. But when you meet someone that is outside of that bubble and they're just like you, they started where you started, they look like you look, and yet they're traveling the world, they're speaking to people, they're empowering, they're pouring into people. You know, it's a joy that is I just can't think of the words that comes to my heart when I see that. I think it starts a snowball effect of excellence in all of us.
Yeah. And what's the impact so far?
Wow.
The impact is amazing. Is amazing. For one, the one of collaboration where we are bringing other people. They're like, oh, the women from the US, they look like this. Such a powerful motivator. But again, for me, having grew up in that environment, poverty and everything, is more of telling them, you know, we were here. The same environment, probably better now. And we still made it. And you can make it. If you're young, there is nothing that can stop you. It's not about the name where you come from, I mean, who your mother looks like, the school you go to. We normally tell them, because most of the schools we don't go to the privileged schools. We go to those schools where people go to school barefoot. We tell them, you know, you who is here, you can you do the same exams like the person who is in Alliance. Yeah, no one is going to ask you when you're in university whether you went to Nyakemincha or you went to Alliance. And I think it's a powerful tool. And along the way, just like Janetta said, is we don't just talk to them nor show up, which is powerful. We also try to listen to their stories, like the teenage pregnancies, like the sanitary pads is an issue. So we are able to give them and tell them, you know, this is not just like it is going to elude all your problems, but it's a powerful tool that we see you and we see the problems you are going through. Yeah.
All right. I'll take your final remarks within just 30 seconds each, beginning with you, Janetta.
Well, I just want to say thank you again for having me. It is an honor and a pleasure. Being here has opened my eyes as well, has enlightened me, and Kenya is my second home. So I just love being here, and I again want to invite everyone out to the Women Empowering Women 2026 in October, and we will have the dates, and thank you again.
All right, thank you so much for coming. Dr. Edna.
Thank you for having us. It's my first time here. I'm so happy. I just want to pass a message to my fellow women out there that it has to start with us. Let us take the space. And for the men, we are not taking your spaces. We want to collaborate. And to government, we are still appealing that let policy work for us. That bill that is just lying there, please, the legislators, do something. And thank you so much. It's through such conversation like this that we get to change the narrative, and it's a step forward. So thank you, KBC, for having space for such conversation to happen.
All right, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me on set this morning and for talking about women, you know, which this segment is all about, just trying to empower the next woman who may be watching the show, just to get to see that nothing is impossible for you. As long as you live, then you have the power to make your mind, yourself great, to be able to just change your mind and reset it to the point where it allows you to see yourself how you were supposed to be, and that is a great woman. This is where we end this conversation. Thank you so very much for joining us. My name is Vivian Degwa, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time and place, God willing. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
Katika Qur'an tukufu Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anatuamuru tukumbushane, kwani kukumbushana kunawafaa waumini. Kwa mujibu wa hadithi